You're not tired, you're just scared. You're not tired that you're scared. Scared to find out who you are without excuses. Scared to test your limits and lose the alibi. Scared to stop pretending. You call it exhaustion because fear sounds weak. You call it burnout because truth sounds violent. But your body isn't done. Your mind quit. You wake up already negotiating with yourself, already looking for a softer path, already planning how little you can do and still feel okay. That's not fatigue, that's avoidance. Real tired comes from work, sweat, pressure, completion. You don't have that kind of tired. You have the tired that comes from running from yourself. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. And today I'm not here to motivate you, that I'm here to expose what you keep hiding behind. You say you need rest. From what progress? You say you need a break. From what discipline? You say you've been pushing. Where are the results? Because effort leaves fingerprints. And your life looks untouched, that you're not drained, that you're undecided. Every day you delay commitment. Your energy leaks. Because hesitation eats more power than work ever will. Work gives energy back. Avoidance drains you dry. That's why you feel heavy doing nothing. That's why small tasks feel massive. That's why you feel tired before you even start. Fear makes everything heavier. Fear of failing publicly. Fear of trying fully. Fear of realizing you waited too long. You stay busy with safe tasks, low-risk actions, fake progress, enough movement to feel productive, not enough pressure to change anything, and you lie to yourself. You say you're overwhelmed, but you're just unfocused. You say there's too much to do, but you've never committed to one thing long enough to feel momentum. You say life is hard, but you made it harder by refusing to choose. Indecision is exhausting. Commitment is freeing. You feel tired because every day you fight an invisible war. Not against the world, against the decision you won't make. Should I go all in? Should I play it safe? Should I try again? Should I wait? That loop is killing you. Decided people move fast. Undecided people age quickly. Look at your reflection. You don't look worn out from work. You look worn down from doubt. Your sleep doesn't fix it. Your weekends don't fix it. Your distractions don't fix it. Because rest doesn't cure fear. Action does. You don't need more recovery. You need courage. Courage to commit before you feel ready. Courage to risk embarrassment. Courage to stop explaining and start executing that you're scared, because if you go all in, there's nowhere left to hide. And oh more, I could have. No more if only. No more, I wasn't really trying. Full effort removes excuses. And excuses have been your safety net. You don't fear the work. You fear the verdict. Because once you try fully, life gives you an answer, and you're terrified of what it might say. You stay half in to half trying to half alive. That's the most exhausting place on earth. You want energy? Stop lying. You want clarity? Decide. You want momentum? Move toward the thing you're avoiding. Fear shrinks when confronted. IT grows when negotiated with. And you've been negotiating for years. Every night you promise tomorrow. Every morning you renegotiate. That cycle is why you're tired. Not because you're weak, but because you're wasting strength on avoidance. You don't need a vacation. You need a line in the sand, a decision that ends the debate, a standard that doesn't ask how you feel. Because the moment you decide, energy returns, purpose wakes you up, focus sharpens you. Pressure activates you that you felt it before. Those rare days when you committed fully. You weren't tired then. You are alive.so. Stop mislabeling fear as fatigue. Stop calling avoidance self-care. Stop protecting a version of you that's going nowhere, that you're not tired, that you're scared. And fear only leaves one way, forward. Fear doesn't disappear on its own. It has to be attacked. And this is where most of you fail. You wait for fear to leave before you move. That's backwards. Fear leaves after you move. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. And now we're done diagnosing. Now we're talking execution under pressure. You don't beat fear by thinking. You beat fear by action, messy action, uncomfortable action, public action. The kind that removes your escape routes. Because fear feeds on options, as long as you have a backup plan. Fear is comfortable, as long as you can quit. Fear relaxes, as long as you can say, I'll try. Fear stays in control, so you feel tired. Because fear is running your life. You plan too much because planning feels safe. You research too much because research feels productive. You prepare forever because preparation delays judgment. But judgment is coming either way. Life will judge you by results, not intentions, not potential, not effort you never applied consistently. You keep waiting to feel confident. Confidence doesn't come first, proof does. Confidence is a receipt, and you don't have one. Let's get brutal that you're scared of committing, because commitment exposes gaps. Gaps in discipline, gaps in focus, gaps in work ethic. And instead of closing the gaps, you avoid them. You stay in your head. You overthink. You replay scenarios that never happened. That's fear masquerading as intelligence. Smart people don't overthink. Scared people do. Fear wants you tired, because tired people don't fight. Back.so, it keeps you busy but unproductive, active but ineffective, exhausted with nothing to show. That's not an accident, that's conditioning. And today, that conditioning ends. Here's the rule you've been missing. You do the thing first. You feel later. You don't wait to feel strong. You act until strength shows up. You don't wait to feel ready. You move until readiness is forced. Readiness is a response to pressure. Pressure, growth. That's why your life feels stagnant. You remove pressure to stay comfortable, and comfort turned into fear. You need hard days again. Days where quitting crosses your mind. Days where your mind begs for relief. Those days rebuild you. Easy days made you soft. Hard days make you sharp. Fear hates routine. Fear hates structure. Fear hates repetition. You build a schedule that doesn't care about emotions. Wake up at the same time, work at the same time, push at the same time in negotiations. You don't ask, do I feel like it? You ask, what's next? That's how fear loses power. Fear needs drama. You give it boring consistency, and slowly something shifts. You stop feeling tired all the time because you stop carrying the weight of indecision. Decisions free energy. Hesitation drains it. You start sleeping better. Not because life is easy, because your mind isn't running from itself anymore. You did the work. You faced the thing. You earned rest. That kind of rest is different. But understand this. Fear will test you again. Not loudly, subtly, IT will say, you've done enough. It will say, you deserve a break. It will say, just ease up a little. That's the trap. Fear doesn't want you to quit. IT just wants you to slow down. Because slow progress is easier to kill you stay aggressive with your standards. You don't celebrate early. You don't loosen discipline because you feel better. Feeling better is not the goal, becoming better is, you don't need to feel fearless. You need to act despite fear. Courage is movement with fear present. And every time you move anyway, fear shrinks. Not tomorrow, not next month, today. This is the phase where excuses die quietly, no speeches, no announcements. Just action replacing avoidance. You don't talk about it. You execute because scared people explain, committed people produce. And once you taste that shift, once you feel momentum replacing anxiety, there's no going back. Fear no longer defines you, discipline does. This is the last phase. After this, there are no excuses left to hide behind. Because now it's not fear versus effort. It's identity versus comfort. You don't feel scared anymore. You feel empty. And that emptiness scares people more than fear ever did. Because fear at least gave you an excuse. Emptiness means it's time to build. This is Dr. Eric T. Motivation Corner. And now I'm talking to the part of you that knows there's no going back. You crossed the line already. You just haven't admitted it yet. You know too much now that you've felt what discipline does, that you've tasted momentum. You can't pretend anymore. This is where obsession replaces motivation. You stop asking why. You already know. You stop asking how long long as it takes. You stop asking if it's worth it. That question belongs to quitters. Obsessed people don't negotiate with reality. They bend it. Your day stops being divided into work and life. IT becomes the mission. Everything serves it. Sleep serves it. Food serves it. Silence serves it. Anything that doesn't serve it gets CUT, drama, explanation. You don't announce changes. You just disappear from weak patterns. People notice later, when results show up. This is where you become dangerous. Not loud. Not flashy, consistent. You do the work even when progress is invisible. Especially then, because this phase tests faith. Faith in your routine. Faith in your standards. Faith in who you decided to become. And most people fail here. Not because it's hard, because it's quiet. Praise. Hype. Validation. Just you and the work. And that's why this phase creates monsters. You don't need motivation now. You don't need speeches. You need non-negotiables. You show up no matter what. You execute no matter how you feel. You finish no matter how long it takes. You don't miss twice, ever. Miss once, correct immediately. That rule alone will separate you from 99% of people. Because most people negotiate with weakness. You starve it. Your old self tries to come back, soft, comfortable, nostalgic. You don't fight it emotionally. You outwork it every time. Your confidence stops coming from words. IT comes from evidence. You said you would work. You did. You said you would show up. You did. You said you would finish. You did. That builds a different kind of belief, unshakable. Now pressure doesn't scare you. IT focuses you. Deadlines sharpen you. Fatigue clarifies priorities. You stop wasting time because time feels expensive. Every hour matters. Every choice compounds. You don't ask what's comfortable. You ask what moves the needle. That question becomes automatic. And now listen carefully. This is the moment your life splits. People around you stay the same. Same talk, same habits. Same excuses. You don't judge them. You just don't join them because your standards won't allow it. Loneliness shows up. You don't run from it. You use it. Loneliness builds focus. Focus builds mastery. Mastery builds separation. And separation is the price of greatness. You stop chasing outcomes. You chase excellence. Outcomes chase you. You don't rush success. You make failure impossible because you're not relying on bursts of effort anymore, that you're relying on systems. Systems don't get tired. Systems don't get scared. Systems don't make excuses. And now the truth becomes clear. You were never tired. You were never unlucky. You were never behind. You were uncommitted. That's over now. From this point forward, you don't need speeches like this. You need execution. But if you're here, if you made it through all of this, it means one thing, that you're done being average. Here's the final command: that wake up early, that work in silence, that execute daily, not negotiate with weakness. Subscribe, because average is no longer an option. This is after the decision, after the fire, after the identity shift. This is the long walk when nobody's watching anymore, because now the real test shows up. Boredom, not fear, not doubt. Boredom, the kind that whispers, "Is this it?" The kind that tries to pull you back into noise. The kind that kills more dreams than failure ever did. This is where champions separate permanently, because bored people look for excitement. Focused people look for results. You don't chase intensity anymore. You manufacture output. Day after day, same hours, same standards, same pressure, and drama. You stop needing motivation because your routine carries you. You stop needing reminders because your habits hunt you down. You build a life that doesn't ask how. You feel, and that's freedom. You don't need perfect days. You need completed days, finished tasks, closed loops, promises kept. You don't overthink progress. You track it. Numbers don't lie. Feelings do. You stop romanticizing struggle. You respect consistency, because consistency outlives talent. Consistency outlives hype. Consistency outlives motivation. Most people quit here, not loudly, quietly. They loosen standards. They skip once, then twice. They don't fall off a cliff. They drift. You don't drift. You correct. Immediately. In shame. In speeches. Correction is power. You become surgical with your time. Minutes matter. Hours are sacred. You don't waste mornings. You don't bleed evenings. You protect momentum like your life depends on it, because it does. This is where your confidence becomes calm, not loud, not aggressive. Calm, that you've done the work too many times to doubt yourself. Pressure doesn't spike your heart anymore. That IT steadies it. You don't rise for moments, that you're built for them. People ask what changed. You don't answer. You know the truth. You stopped lying to yourself. You stopped negotiating. You stopped quitting silently. That's no secret, no hack. Just standards enforced daily. And now understand this. You don't get to turn this off. This isn't a phase. This is who you are now. If you stop, you'll feel it immediately. That discomfort isn't weakness. That's your old life try to drag you back. You don't go back. Ever that you've seen what discipline builds, that you felt what commitment unlocks. You're not chasing success anymore. You're maintaining dominance. And dominance is quiet. Keep going. When it's boring, when it's lonely, when nobody notices, that's where the gap becomes permanent. And if you're still here listening to this, it means one thing, that you're not looking for motivation, that you're looking for confirmation. Here it is, that you're on the right path. Now shut up, get back to work. This is the phase that breaks pretenders, because now you don't get the rush anymore. Fire speeches, adrenaline spikes. Just wait. The weight of responsibility. The weight of knowing you can't lie anymore. the weight of standards that don't bend. This is where discipline stops feeling heroic and starts feeling normal. And most people can't handle normal. They only show up when it feels powerful. They disappear when it feels routine. You don't. You move even when it feels empty, especially then, because empty days are where legends are built. You stop asking if you're progressing. You know you are because the work is done whether you feel it or not. You don't need proof today that you're planting proof months ahead that that's maturity. You don't chase quick wins. You build inevitability. You stack boring days. You stack quiet reps. You stack invisible effort. And suddenly, without warning, the gap becomes obvious. Not to you, to them. People start asking how you did it. They think it was one moment, point one. Breakthrough, point one, lucky break. You don't correct them, because they wouldn't survive the truth. The truth is this: you didn't become great by doing something extreme once. You became dangerous by doing something hard every single day without applause. You trained when motivation was gone. You worked when boredom hit. You stayed when quitting felt logical. That's not talent, that's character, and character compounds. Now pressure doesn't scare you, it irritates you, because you've been under it so long it feels like home. Chaos doesn't throw you off, that it sharpens you, because your identity isn't built on comfort anymore, it's built on response. Whatever shows you handle it, and no panic, that and no drama, and no excuses, execution. This is where you stop being inspired by others. You stop consuming. You stop comparing. You already know the formula to work, that recover, to repeat. And you protect it like religion. You don't let weekdays pile up. You don't let emotions hijack routines. You feel everything. You obey nothing, but that's mastery. You don't need to prove anything now. You don't chase validation. Your confidence is internal, unshakable, quiet, because it was earned the hard way. And here's the final truth, that if you ever stop doing this, life won't punish you immediately. It will reward you with comfort. And comfort will slowly poison everything you built. So you stay alert. You stay hungry, not desperate, but hungry. Hungry for standards. Hungry for precision. Hungry for growth that never ends. Because this isn't about arriving. There is no arrival. There's only maintaining the edge. And that edge is what separates names from faces, leaders from noise, legends from talkers. You're not chasing success anymore, that you're defending discipline. Every day, forever. Now close this, stand up, and go do the work, because this level doesn't need